We're moving into our final segment for this morning where we're joined by top achievers from Stan Creek Ecumenical High School. We have with us this morning in studio Gabriella Bowman, who is the valedictorian. We have joining us via Zoom Preston Somerville, the salutatorian, and Tricia Cadle, the third top student. Good morning and welcome.
Good morning.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah. I guess you all can take a deep sigh. It's over, right? High school's over and on to the next challenge. But we're so grateful to have the South represented here. And Gabriella, you're in studio because you have orientation today.
I do, yes.
Let's just take a moment to reflect on what this achievement means for each of you. You can start out.
It's a huge achievement for me. I've always been a high achiever. I've always wanted to overachieve. So graduating as a valedictorian is a huge deal for me and my family. And so I made myself very proud when I graduated as a valedictorian.
Yeah, did you have any time where you were doubting whether or not you'd get that top spot?
Oh, definitely, 100%, yes. It wasn't easy, so I definitely wanted to give up at so many points throughout the 4 years of high school, but I made it.
And for you, Preston?
Definitely a big achievement for myself. I think it puts me in a good position to continue my education, and I'm happy that I got where I am today.
All right, is Tricia still with us? Tricia?
Morning. Yes, to me it was very unexpected. I didn't expect it to be third, but I was just trying hard and pushing for the best all the time.
All right, what were your majors? Tricia, what did you major in?
Tourism. Tourism
Okay.
hospitality.
You did tourism, and you, Preston?
I majored in science.
Okay, and you did?
I majored in science as well.
Science as well. So we have two of the top achievers coming from the science unit. Speak to us about, so I like to do mental check-in. Speak to us about what it was like for the past 2 years going through the pandemic and being able to sustain that high level of performance in academics.
It was extremely difficult. I lost motivation throughout the 2 years because you're sitting behind a screen and you feel very, it's very scary because you don't feel like you're understanding, you don't feel like you're doing your best, and you don't feel like you're getting the best quality that there is of education because you're behind a screen. So it took a lot from within for me to continue with that education, to continue to being the top student. It took a lot of myself to keep studying and keep trying to understand and pick up where I felt like I was lacking.
And Preston, how was it for you going through the pandemic?
Definitely mentally challenging, not being able to see the people that you are learning with, not getting that face-to-face education, often at times losing motivation or having no motivation at all to continue to learn. But we all persevered through it, and I believe that it made us a little bit stronger, a little bit more, and we are able to adapt to more circumstances, and I'm glad that we got the education that we did.
Yeah.
And Tricia, how has it been for you over the past 2 years?
For the past 2 years at home, very challenging. Sometimes they wanted to give up. Well, I guess just look towards the end goal and always pushing through. Getting by with the motivation of my family and friends.
That's the question I have. What do you do when it gets really tough? Being a top achiever, you know, Gabriella said it, and I'm sure it's the same for all of you. It's not easy. You do well, and then you have to consistently do well after. Sometimes the pressure is there. Sometimes you're just not able to excel in one topic. What do you do when you hit that point where you lose motivation? Let's start with you, Preston.
There are times when the stress or the pressure does get to you, but for me, it was my family, especially my mother, my aunt, Amrina. They helped me to support me, you know, tell me that I can achieve this, that I can do better than what I am able to do, and that I can push through and become a top student.
And Tricia?
I guess when I lose most of my motivation, I'll go to my friends or my family for the support. Just look towards end goal. Just see what I would like visualize what I would be going towards and how I should work towards it to get there.
Okay, so you saw your end goal. And what about you, Gabriela?
Like Preston said, my family and my friends, especially my mom, I talk about it, I journal how I feel, or I take a break for myself, I read, or I look back at a certain point in my life and I said, okay, I was there, now I'm here, I've made it, I'll be able to make it the same. I'll be able to pull through whatever I'm going through at that moment.
So who preferred the online schooling versus in person? Any of you?
No.
That's all no's. What's the biggest difference?
I think you do prefer certain parts of it, but in the end, you do prefer being in person. You're there, feel like you're grasping the concept better. You're there interacting with friends and the teachers. If you have questions, you feel comfortable voicing those opinions and questions in class rather than online. You know, you're seeing the faces, you're seeing the people. All of that energy really makes you feel a lot more comfortable.
Yeah. How competitive was it to earn a top spot? Now, I'm going to get to Gabriela and Preston because they were in the same major. But for you, Tricia?
How competitive was it?
Yeah, how competitive?
Very much, I guess. I didn't expect it, so like I was trying my best all the time, that just pushing myself to the hardest I could go.
Yeah. And for the two science majors, were you eyeing every grade that Preston got, Gabriela?
I was definitely watching my grades. I am my biggest critic. So I was like, okay, this one needs to go up some more. But it's definitely very competitive. There are so many bright students at the school. So it's super competitive, and you just have to focus on yourself really and do your best, and that's all that really matters.
And Preston, what's your take?
Yes, it was very competitive. There are a lot of smart students in my class and my stream, and you hear a lot of things about the smart students in science, especially Miss Gabriela.
So she was the one to beat.
Yes.
So you're here for orientation, and I'm sure that Preston as well as Tricia, you have future plans in terms of your academics. Speak to us about what your future plans are.
So I do plan on going to St. John's, and I'll be studying biochem. And then I definitely see myself in the medical field. Like I say, when everyone asks me this question, is I don't see myself doing anything else. No, I've always dreamed, you could ask all my family and my friends, I've dreamed of being a pediatrician. Now that may change, but what won't change is me being in the medical field. I'll be somewhere in that field.
Nice.
And Preston?
I'm currently deciding between the University of Belize and Galen University, but I definitely want to pursue IT and eventually become a software engineer. That's where my interest lies, and I believe that financially that will be able to support me and my family.
And Tricia?
Right now I am in between going to University of Belize and Ecumenical Junior College. I guess I'll continue the tourism stream just to see how it works out for me.
Now tell us about, you know, when people hear of top achievers, they think that you are just completely focused on school and that, you know, that's what it takes. And I'm sure it takes hard work. But how did you balance everything else? You're teenagers, you want fun, right? You have fun.
It's definitely difficult, but I never wanted to not have a good balance. So I always tried having a good balance. So I always took time out to do things that I enjoy, which are little things, baking, reading a book, being with my family. To help with that, I made a list, and I check off my list, and I make sure I do a certain amount of things by a certain amount of time. And if I don't, well, I don't, but I do give myself a break, because if you don't, you can overwork yourself, and it can be extremely difficult and hard on yourself and your body and your mental health. So,
Yeah. And Tracy and Preston, tell us about how you balance your time. It's not all books, right?
For as much time as you spend on school, you have to spend as much time with friends, with family, social interaction, personal interests. I like playing video games, listening to music. It helps keep a balance to things so you can keep your mind focused.
Yeah. And Tricia?
Well, for me, it was mostly a balance of schoolwork, my hobbies, and just spending time with my family and friends, making sure I got time to cool down when I finish all my schoolwork and try to focus on everything, not just everything that was related to school.
So we have in studio with us the valedictorian, and I'm sure at the graduation you gave your valedictory speech. Speak to us about what the message was within that speech that you gave.
So I spoke about many things in my speech, but our theme for our graduation was the future belongs to those who conquer their dreams. So I spoke about that. I spoke about conquering your dreams. I spoke about how I was able to conquer my dream of graduating as a valedictorian. And I spoke about my family and my friends, and I spoke about how you just, it's all within, and how you we're all gonna conquer something in the future, and us as the teenagers and the new generation, the future belongs to us. And we're gonna all venture out into different things, but in the end, if you feel happy doing what you're doing, then no one can tell you that you're not successful.
Yeah.
And what was the message in your salutatory address, Preston?
As Gabriela stated, the theme was the future belongs to those who conquer their dreams. So I tried to focus on that because dreams are something that you want to become reality. So you have to set certain goals in place. And when you achieve those goals, you have to make it a reality. You have to try to make it a reality. Otherwise, it will just be a figment. That's something you are trying to grasp.
So let me ask a question. You know, I always think that in high school, sometimes you're kind of just thinking of your grades and being able to move on. You think, you know, that school's going to end. It doesn't. But you come from Stan Creek. You are top achievers. What is it that you see in your community that you want to aspire to be able to influence or impact?
For me, it's seeing all the young children who are discouraged, who don't want to go to school, who find it discouraging, and who think that being a top achiever, like you said, only consists of books and not having a social life. I want to be an influence to them. I love kids, so I want to be able to influence them and become a part of my community in that aspect, where I'm able to help them and motivate them and push them to do their best, and that they're making, not only they should make themselves proud, but no matter what, they're making someone out there proud, and they're doing so well, and that no one can tell them that they're not able to do it.
Yeah. Tricia, you want to chime in? Do we still have her on, or is she on mute?
For my community, I would say I want to just encourage everyone to actually finish their schooling, to push hard. But I see many people around that they're just discouraged from schooling. I just say that, to me, I say education would help to get far in life, and I just want them to know that and them to work towards achieving that also.
Yeah. And Preston?
For me, I want to inspire those kids with learning disabilities because it's something very close to me. My family members also suffer from that. But a disability isn't just a disability, it's an ability. Because just because we learn at a different level or a different speed, that doesn't mean you can't also become a top achiever for whatever you want to do in life.
So I want to challenge you all right now, and I want to put you on the spot in the sense that I want to ask, if you had the opportunity to influence some type of innovation or policy at this present moment, what would that be?
I think that something that should be implemented is definitely to have more social gatherings for children. A lot of children find it hard to be social, and they want to interact. But of course, there are people who would be classified as more popular, and so they find it harder to be social at school. So I think if schools should definitely, from a younger age, implement more things where students get out and do things together, because there is school and education is extremely important, but you also have to take care of yourself, and you have to be social, and you have to make friends, and you have to do things with those friends. So I think that should definitely be something that should be implemented.
Interesting.
Preston?
Going off of what Gabriela said, I think that if schools implemented more clubs for more interests of students, I think they'll have a better time. I think they'll find more people that are like themselves and they'll be able to express themselves better.
And Teresa, if you had that opportunity to influence some type of innovation or policy, what would that be?
I would say it would just be something that will like most likely encourage everyone to try their best and just give them the opportunity to actually try their best and not discourage them from what they're doing.
Okay. Now, I'm sure there are a lot of people who are extremely proud of all of you. And we always know that we love our viewers in Stan Creek especially. But so I want to give you the opportunity to say thank you to people who've helped you along the way. Very often, sometimes there's teachers that push you, there are people within the community. Who do you want to say thanks to for this part of your journey?
Oh, there are so many teachers who have supported me, who have been by my side, who's believed in me even when I found it hard to believe in myself. So thank you to all my teachers, to my family, my mom, my dad, my brothers and sisters. They've always supported me. They've always been there for me. My numerous amount of aunts, uncles, my grandparents, and my friends, of course, my friends who believed in me as well and who stood by me and helped me and talked to me when I was discouraged. They played such a big role into where I am today and how I was able to achieve what I did.
Yeah. Preston?
I want to thank all my teachers because without them, I wouldn't be able to get an education, of course. But to my biggest teacher, my mom, of course, my dad, my sister, all my friends, because my friends have helped me a lot, socially, mentally, emotionally. I want to thank all my aunts, my uncles, my grandparents especially. And yeah.
All right, and for you, Tricia?
I want to thank my mom, my sisters, my brothers, and my teachers from school. Like all of them, they were always encouraging me and helping me where they can. My friends, and my kids, my grandmother, and my grandparents.
All right. Yeah, it's so lovely to see the young minds around this time of year. And what are you most excited about? You've completed high school. It feels never ending at some times.
It does.
What's when you think of what excites you today? What is that?
The future.
Yeah.
The future, we don't know what the future has in store for us. We don't know what it is. We don't know where we're going to be a year from now, 10 years from now. But it's amazing to think that in the future we're going to all be someone different. We're going to be doing different things. And it's exciting to think about it. It's exciting to see where we are. But as of right now, I'm excited to be in Belize City because I come from Stan Creek and I'm going to be going to St. John's. And so it's a whole new ball game for me. It's completely different.
This is a new move for you, yeah.
It's terrifying, but it's exciting and it's thrilling at the same time. So I'm looking forward to that.
Okay. Tricia, what excites you at this moment with the completion of this part of your journey?
What excites me was see what I will be in the future. Trying to figure out what I will continue from now on, and see how hard I'm willing to work for it.
Mm-hmm. And Preston, only you left.
Right now, the gate of possibilities has just opened, and it's very exciting. And right now, definitely, further education excites me the most.
Well, we thank you so much for joining us this morning to share your success stories with us and with the wider populace of Belize. We are congratulating you on your achievement, and we wish you all the best in your future endeavors, and keep up the good work, keep up the hard work, and keep inspiring other young people to be top achievers as well.
Thank you guys so much for having us.
Thank you, Preston. Thank you, Tricia.
Thank you too.
All right, enjoy your summer. Take a break before you restart again next semester, please. All right, with that, we're going to go ahead and take our final break. And when we come back, we'll have our wrap up. So stay tuned.